the man who was supposed to die in prison. Mêle Haggard was never supposed to become a legend. He wasn't born into comfort, he wasn't groomed for success, and he definitely wasn't expected to live long enough to leave any kind of legacy behind. Before he ever stood under stage lights, he stood behind prison bars. Before he ever sang about heartbreak, he lived inside it. And before the world crowned him a country icon, the system had already labeled him a lost cause. But somehow, against every odd stacked against him, Mêle Haggard survived long enough to rewrite his fate. What makes his story unforgettable isn't just the fame. It's the chaos, violence, redemption, regret, and relentless inner war that followed him until his very last breath. Because no matter how successful he became, there was a restlessness inside him that never truly disappeared. And it all started in a place most legends never come from: a boxcar childhood and a broken beginning. Mêle Haggard entered the world on April 6, 1937, during one of the hardest eras in American history. The Great Depression had stripped families of security, dignity, and hope. His parents, James and Flossie Haggard, were among the millions forced west in search of survival. Like countless others, they landed in California with little more than desperation and determination. Their home wasn't a house. It wasn't even a shack. It was a refurbished railroad boxcar. Cold in the winter, suffocating in the summer. A cramped metal shell where privacy didn't exist and stress lived in every corner. This wasn't the environment dreams were built in. It was the kind that hardened children before they ever had a chance to be soft. Then came the moment that shattered everything. In 1946, when Mêle was just 9 years old, his father suddenly died. There was no warning, no time to prepare. One moment he had stability, and the next it was gone. Decades later, Mêle would describe that moment with chilling simplicity, saying, "Something went out of my world that I was never able to replace." That wasn't just grief, that was emotional amputation. With his father gone, the weight of survival fell heavily on his mother, who was already struggling to hold everything together. Discipline became strict. Patience disappeared. Love was overshadowed by survival. And for young Mêle, that pressure slowly turned into rebellion. He found comfort in music, sneaking into local halls, listening to country performers, absorbing every note like oxygen. Artists like Lefty Frizzell and the Maddox brothers became his emotional escape. But while music planted hope, anger planted something else entirely. And that something was about to explode. Because pain doesn't always turn into ambition. Sometimes it turns into destruction. The Descent. Crime, rage, and 17 jail escapes. By the time Mêle was 11, his behavior had spiraled completely out of control. His mother, exhausted and overwhelmed, made the heartbreaking decision to turn him over to authorities, labeling him incorrigible. It wasn't cruelty, it was desperation. But the system didn't save him, it hardened him. Reform schools became prisons, detention centers became training grounds, and crime became identity. By his teenage years, Mêle Haggard wasn't just getting into trouble, he was living in it. In and out of jail, stealing, fighting, running, always running, and escaping. Mêle later claimed he escaped custody 17 times. 17. Each escape fed his addiction to chaos. It wasn't just about freedom, it was about control. Each successful breakout reinforced the belief that rules didn't apply to him, that consequences were optional, that danger was thrilling. But thrill has a shelf life. In 1957, his luck ran out. After a robbery, Mêle was sentenced to San Quentin, one of the most notorious prisons in America. It was a place built to crush rebellion, not rehabilitate it. A place where violence and despair were woven into the walls. For the first time, escape wasn't easy. And for the first time, Mêle Haggard was forced to sit with himself. But what truly changed him wasn't prison. It was death. San Quentin, death row and the moment everything shifted. Inside San Quentin, Merle met another inmate who became his closest friend. Like Merle, this man dreamed of escape. He urged Merle to join him in one final breakout, a chance to disappear forever. But something inside Merle hesitated. For once, he said no. His friend attempted the escape alone. During the attempt, he shot and killed a highway patrol officer. He was caught, tried, convicted, and executed. The weight of that moment crushed Merle. That could have been him. The realization shook him awake. For the first time, prison didn't feel like a temporary setback. It felt like a preview of his grave. In that moment, the thrill vanished, replaced by fear, guilt, and clarity. He later wrote that this experience forced him to confront the reality of his choices, that the road he was on ended in only one place: death. But just as despair settled in, something extraordinary happened, something that would reshape his entire future. Johnny Cash and the birth of redemption. While still serving his sentence, Mêle Haggard attended a live performance inside San Quentin by a man who would later become his closest friend, Johnny Cash. Cash wasn't just performing, he was connecting. He spoke to the inmates like human beings, not criminals. He sang to their pain, not their records. He treated them like souls worth saving. And Merle watched, stunned. He later admitted that before that day, he thought Johnny Cash's music was corny. But standing there, surrounded by hardened men hanging on every word, he realized something powerful. Music could reach places punishment never could. That performance planted a seed. For the first time, Merle saw a future beyond prison walls. He saw a path forward that didn't involve escape, but transformation. Years later, that bond would deepen. When Johnny Cash was dying in intensive care, Merle disguised himself in a doctor's coat just to sneak in and see him. When Cash asked why he was there, Merle simply said, "I'm here because I love you." That moment captured everything. Two outlaws, two survivors, two men forever linked by redemption. But the road ahead would still be brutal, because freedom doesn't automatically mean peace. Toxic love, violence, and marriages that nearly destroyed him. After his release in 1960, Merle tried to rebuild his life through music, but emotionally, he was still broken. His first marriage to Leona was volatile from the start. They had 4 children, but stability never followed. The relationship was fueled by jealousy, resentment, and unresolved trauma. While Merle was incarcerated, Leona became pregnant by another man. That betrayal shattered him. When he returned home, the emotional tension erupted into physical violence on both sides. Their fights became legendary: public beatings, explosive arguments, emotional warfare. On one occasion, Leona jumped out of a moving car to escape him. On another, Merle attacked her in rage, nearly strangling her. Later, he admitted that during that moment, he thought, "I know where I'll be going: death row." That realization snapped him back to reality. They divorced in 1964. 4 marriages followed. Some brought stability, others brought heartbreak. His second wife, Bonnie Owens, helped shape his biggest musical successes. Even after their divorce, she continued touring with him until her death, a rare testament to their bond. His final wife, Teresa, became his emotional anchor. When Merle died, she said she lost her entire world. But love never fully healed him, and fame was about to magnify everything. Outlaw King. Fame, fire, and political war. Mêle Haggard's music exploded in the early 1960s. Songs like Sing a Sad Song, Mama Tried, and Sing Me Back Home transformed his prison pain into national poetry. His honesty resonated. His scars became his brand. But then came Okie from Muskogee. The song detonated across America, dividing listeners overnight. Conservatives embraced it as an anthem. Liberals despised it as a condemnation. Overnight, Merle became a cultural battlefield. Yet privately, he was full of contradiction. The song criticized counterculture habits, but Merle himself smoked weed. The song praised traditional values, yet his own life was chaos. He later admitted he wrote from observation, not ideology. Still, controversy followed him. He became the face of outlaw country before outlaw country even had a name. But fame never silenced his demons. They just found new ways to speak: addiction, bankruptcy, and his darkest collapse. In the 1980s, Mêle Haggard fell into heavy drug use. Fame, exhaustion, pressure, and emotional instability collided. His addiction nearly destroyed everything he built. Then came the ultimate humiliation. In 1992, he filed for bankruptcy. On the same day, his son was born. That moment broke him. The contrast was unbearable. New life, financial ruin, emotional exhaustion. He later described it as the lowest point of his entire existence. But once again, Merle survived. And once again, he fought back. The final battle: illness, mortality, and unfinished restlessness. In his final years, Merle battled severe health issues, including life-threatening pneumonia that left him gasping for air. Doctors described infections in both lungs the size of grapefruits. Still, he kept performing. Even at 78, he refused to slow down. Music was the only thing that ever truly quieted his mind. He once said, "There is a restlessness in my soul that I've never conquered, not with motion, marriages, or meaning." That restlessness followed him to the end. Mêle Haggard died on April 6, 2016, his 79th birthday. The boy born in a boxcar, the man forged in prison, the legend shaped by pain, the man who never found peace. Mêle Haggard lived a life of brutal honesty. He never pretended to be perfect. He never hid his scars. He carried his past openly through addiction, violence, regret, and redemption. His story proves something haunting. Fame doesn't heal trauma. Success doesn't erase pain. And even legends carry wounds that never fully close. But what made Mêle extraordinary wasn't perfection. It was honesty. He turned suffering into poetry. He transformed shame into music. And he gave voice to millions who felt unseen, unheard, and broken. And maybe that's why his songs still linger. Because deep down, we all carry a little of that restlessness too.
Thank you, my viewer. I hope you keep it here on my channel for more discoveries on all the celebrities' untold journeys. Like, comment, and subscribe on Hajararama channel. Thank you so much.